Hello and welcome to another action-packed episode of the Three Frosted Mugs, a Fiat Entertainment Group production. I am Rodney, and here with me, as always, are Chad.
Steven.
Hello, Chad. Conway.
Hello, Steven.
Hello, Conway. And our producer, the man behind the curtain, Matthew Wiltshire. Action-packed.
I know, action-packed. You just watch us sit behind a computer.
It's just
full
some
of
movements.
action.
Move around a little bit. All right. Well, we're back. Episode 8. I can't believe it's episode 8, by the way.
We're
Don't
here.
get crazy
Wild.
now.
What's that?
Don't get crazy now.
I'm calm.
I know.
I'm
We
remaining
might not
calm.
make it to 9.
I'm remaining calm. And I know, Chad, you had a little thing before we start that you want to talk about.
Yeah.
Not a little thing. It's a big thing.
Yeah. The Fredericksburg Amateur Golf Tournament's back. Been quite a few years since it's been here. So we're going to call it the first annual Fredericksburg Amateur Golf Tournament. Going to be held at Fawn Lake this year, which any golfer out there would know. Fawn Lake's a gym. The place is, it's in great shape. It's a private course. It's just phenomenal. Good thing about this tournament, all the proceeds are going to benefit the Mary Washington Hospice Foundation in the memory of Julie Hurst.
Awesome.
So it's going to be, it's for a good cause. It's going to be October 25th and 26th, like I said, at Fawn Lake Country Club. Registration is going to end October 15th. You can go to fredericksburggolf.com to get your application and register there. That'll tell you everything you need to know about where to send your application and check into. And while you're there, check out what's good on Fredericksburg Golf's website. Stop by the store down off Route 3, down behind Starbucks. They got a lot of good stuff, a lot of good deals offering.
In
go
Fredericksburg, Virginia, if anyone's listening out of state.
In Fredericksburg, Virginia. Go down there and see Steve at Fredericksburg Golf. We got a really lot of great stuff. But anyway, October 25th, 26th, Fredericksburg Amateur. You don't have to be, it's an amateur tournament, so don't think because you're not shooting in the 70s you can't come out and participate. It's for a good cause. Most likely is going to be flighted. Come on out, have a good time.
You're playing in that, right?
I'm going to play in it. My game is not that great right now, but again, I want to support it being the first year that it's here, being who's putting it on, who's it in memory of. I want to go out and show my support. A lot of really good guys. Not only Steve Lovelace from Fredericksburg Golf, but big thanks to Pat Fine over at Fawn Lake for allowing it to happen over there. So I just really want to show my support and probably go out and shoot 1990.
And
That's
it's
awesome.
a good excuse, to tell your wife that you have to go out and practice now.
And
you
you
got to play a few rounds before that comes in.
Exactly.
You got to practice.
And you get not only do you get to play Fawn Lake twice, 'cause it's a 36-hole event, but you get a practice round there too. So all this, and you get to play 3 rounds at Fawn Lake.
You sold me. I'm entered.
You should.
I'm doing it.
You
They
should.
said amateur, not awfuls.
I don't think, awfuls? Really?
Awfuls.
Awfuls.
That's what you fall under. They have a
awfuls.
Fredericksburg Awfuls tournament.
Okay.
Winner.
It's not even a word.
Awfuls is a word today.
Should be.
All
Who
right.
won that cooler, by the way?
The bet?
Yeah.
For which one? When I had to go to Quantico and play?
Yeah.
I had to hit a. He
It was
won.
one. It was 1 and 1.
100.
I won one against him. I took over 108. He shot 109, and he beat me by like 3 or 4 strokes on the bet. I gave him like 91. He shot like 87 or
Yeah.
something.
And
Well,
over
if we
at the
play
Brewski
golf this
last-
Friday, I'm predicting that this Friday is going to be the time that I beat Chad in golf.
All right, give me an over and under for this Friday.
Oh,
For
here we
me?
go.
No,
Here we
for me,
go.
you give me my
Yeah.
score over under, and I'll give you your over under.
You're going to shoot. You're going to have a bad day and shoot an 84, and I'm going to shoot lights out and have an 81.
Gosh, I don't think I've even. Wait, what was the score I saw you hit? Your best score ever? What was that?
A 79.
I was the only one present.
I think you maybe not playing with him, but I know
That
you
was
broke
76. I'm
yeah,
sorry.
So you broke in
76.
79.
But that was a par 70. I mean, it was.
Still shot 76.
That's
Still
correct.
got to get it in the hole.
Well, last time we played, I shot under 100. Last
Yeah.
time, yeah, because I played one time since the.
I'll
Nobody-
give you a
the bet-
102 this time, and I'll give you an 88.
Well,
It's like the Tiger effect, man. Y'all playing with me. It's the Tiger effect. No 5-foot gimmies, and
I'm riding in the same cart with you, and he's riding in the cart with the person that's getting the golf for us.
oh yeah, that's true. Mr. Pritchett.
Mm-hmm.
Big shout out to Medal of Honor golf course at
Looking
Quantico.
good.
We'll be
Looking
there
good
this
out there,
Friday.
too.
It looked real good.
It
Looked
is
real
looking good out there. Absolutely. All right, well that's great. Fredericksburg Amateur.
Yep.
Very excited about
October
that.
25th, 26th.
Very excited about that. It's gonna be a great time.
Next stop, the Ryder Cup.
That's right. We'll dabble into that
It would
next
be great
week.
if you became a professional golfer. I'd be the best caddy ever. I'd be the best worst caddy
Can
ever.
you please do
That is
that?
true.
Can you please become a professional golfer?
Well, he wouldn't carry the bag. He would have a pull cart. He'd be the only caddy on tour to have a pull
I said
cart.
to him, I said, what are you going to do to benefit Chad to be his caddy? Are you going to read the greens for him? Because I've seen you read greens.
He would read it and say, "Yeah, it's green." All right, thanks.
Or brown. I can't tell. I'm colorblind.
Yeah.
That's awesome. Oh, my
Man, you mind
gosh.
carrying this? I'm tired. What have you got in here? You got golf clubs in this bag or something?
You're carrying way too many golf clubs.
You'd be like the guy on the commercial. Had to take out your 7-iron. It was getting a little heavy. And you've only got 2 golf balls left.
See, that's funny. All right, let's go into the NFL. Let's move in. Let's do a little recap of week 2. Some surprises, some not so surprising.
Yep.
Definitely the biggest surprise would be the number of injuries that occurred
Yeah.
during this past weekend, including Washington's starting quarterback Robert Griffin.
Roger might have got hurt. But the thing is, too, is, there's injuries in football, obviously. But, I mean, a lot of big-name players, I think, is what stands out this week as far as, who the injuries happened to.
Mm-hmm.
So let me ask you this: talking about surprises from week 2, by far I think the biggest surprise is Cleveland knocking off New Orleans. But what's the biggest surprise? Indy being 0-2, or
How about
That's
Atlanta?
New Orleans being 0-2?
Well, how about Atlanta coming out and looking as good as they did
Week 1.
and then playing terrible at Cincy? Does that solidify how good Cincy is or how up and down Atlanta is?
Well, maybe
I
it
think
shows you how bad the Saints are.
Well, I think it shows
Yeah.
you how bad the Saints' defense are. I mean, they let Cleveland score 20-some points on them.
Yeah.
Coming off the week that Cleveland just scored 20-some points against Pittsburgh. We look at these teams and think they're invincible. It's a different NFL. I mean, it's the new guys are coming around. I mean, Buffalo's leading their division. Carolina's leading their
I know
division.
Buffalo 2-0.
It's just to me, it's one of those. And Indy will bounce back. I mean, they're probably, to me, a better team than the New Orleans Saints right now. I mean, the Saints' offense is always going to be dangerous, but you know who the defensive coordinator is in New Orleans, right?
Yeah.
I mean,
Rob Ryan.
yeah, and he didn't do nothing at Dallas. He did. His name is getting him wherever. I don't think he's a good defensive coordinator. Everywhere he goes, the opposition piles up points on him.
Yeah, and they were leading the game. They gave up the late drive. So, at a time where the defense needed to make a big stand, they did it. The Broncos got beat in the second half by the Chiefs. But look what the
Right.
Broncos did. That when they needed it, even though they let them get all the way down to the goal line on that last drive, they made a stop. Mm-hmm. That's the difference right there and what the Saints have done and what the Broncos have done. Because the Broncos hadn't played great defense. I mean, they're still giving up some yardage, but they showed up when they needed to.
Well, they have the luxury of having Peyton as their quarterback, so they're kind of almost guaranteed a lot of points, which I guess the surprising thing is the fact that the Broncos were held down to 24 for the entire game, right?
Yeah, well, they opened up the Chiefs opened up the third quarter with a 10-minute drive, and I think they had another 7 or 8 minute drive. So you're talking over a quarter right there in just 2 drives. I think one thing that surprised me as well, not as much because this was you like the pick as well. This was my super thirsty pick with Dallas. I said they'd win outright. They were getting 3. Dallas only gave up 10 points on the road to Tennessee, who played good against Kansas City. So and they didn't give up any points in the first half. So Dallas has gone the last 6 quarters, only giving up 10 points.
So their defense is performing a lot better than people had expected.
They're by far.
And you got to think the points they gave up to San Francisco in Week 1, a lot of that was off of turnovers too.
Oh, yeah,
Exactly.
DeMarco
Bad
Murray,
field position.
first carry, fumbles in for a touchdown.
Right.
I mean, ridiculous.
And maybe they're better than what we think they are. I hope so. I
You
want to
really
keep it
hope
under
so.
wraps. Yeah.
You
Merle
really
Hodge was
hope
given
so.
a lot of credit. Merle Hodge said, because they were giving him, they were like, they said, is this far fetched or is it, or is it legitimate? And they said, DeMarco Murray, 2,000 yards. Merle Hodge said, this is legit. He said, this offensive line is for real. He said, this defense plays, as good as they've been playing. He said, that's a possibility. So somebody finally, an analyst, gave Dallas praise.
Well, it's legit if they keep to the game plan. I mean, it's no matter what. I'll tell a little story about football, in a second. But I tried to explain to my son last
No,
night.
you won't.
Not if we have anything to do with it.
I tried to explain to my son last night. Football is the same on any level. I don't care if you play it when you're 8 years old or professional. You run the ball, you play defense, you win football games. Period.
Yeah.
That's it. You want to go out there and score 40 points a game, that's fine. I mean, we'll see how good that works for Oregon when it comes down to the end of the year. I mean, see how well that works for Denver Broncos last year when it comes down. Any level, you run the ball, you play defense, you win games, period. It's not flashy. It's not for the fantasy football types. But that's what I want my football team to be. I mean, it's any team that I'm rooting for, I want them to manage the clock, don't turn the ball over, run it, and play defense. It's that simple.
That's the biggest thing. If you hold on to the ball, your chances of turning it over are way less, obviously, than you're going through the air against the secondary.
Hey, my old coach used to tell me, when you throw the ball, 3 bad things can happen. Ain't but one good thing that can happen.
Yep.
Mm-hmm. That's just the rule of thumb. When you put the ball in the air, I watched that San Francisco game. Some of those throws by Kaepernick, they weren't that bad of throws, or whatnot. It was great defense. I mean, some of those plays that were made to intercept the ball was great plays.
I didn't get a chance to watch the game, but Canty came in and dove for the ball. Then I heard Fuller.
I mean, it was great defense. Now, and he was throwing to guys that were open, and these guys were coming off their other reads and making plays. And that's to me, you got to have a running game to make it in the Denver Broncos. They know that. I mean, it's Dallas Cowboys. They should know that.
Denver knows it, but they got Peyton, so they try to stick with it. And Peyton's going to try to feed it to Monte as much as he can.
And Peyton used to have the reputation of of going into runs a lot more, audible and out of passes and running the ball. He knows. I mean, he's a smart guy, but he can throw the ball pretty much anywhere he wants on point. So
he's got some pretty badass weapons.
And while we're talking about, go ahead. I don't want to cut you off.
Well, and you go back to Peyton Manning and Tom Brady. A lot of times when they put the ball in the air, in those short, that's just like running the ball. But you don't have that clock management. You don't, like you said, Kansas City came out, had a 10-minute drive. You can't have a 10-minute drive if you're throwing the ball every play.
Yep.
You got to convert first downs and run the ball.
Exactly. Mm-hmm. And while we're talking about, I want to discount one certain team. While we're talking about running the ball and playing defense, I mean, they did it against a bad team, but Washington Redskins, they put up 41 on Jacksonville. They held them to 10 points. I think they had 10 sacks. Now, because Kirk Cousins did all that with no first-team preps throughout the week.
Yeah.
So he's going to continue to get, we've seen what he has. He's going to continue to get better, I think, though. It's kind of scary in this Jay Gruden offense. But if this defense brings that intensity every week and Alfred Morris continues to run the ball like that, I think Washington's going to be a tough team as well. Because like you said, defense and running the ball wins football games. And they have weapons on the outside when needed.
You'll find out a lot about the Washington Redskins this weekend.
Kirk Cousins made Columbus almost like a non-factor as far as his inability to keep the defender from coming in the backfield. I mean, if you watched a lot of it in the back, Columbus was being shoved back pretty much all the way back to Kirk, but Kirk already had the ball out of his hands. So that's the biggest thing, the time.
Well, it comes down to with Cousins and RG3. There's going to be things that RG3 naturally does better than Cousins.
Run.
Right. Yeah. And Cousins
and leap.
Naturally. How long was he at Michigan State? Was he a 4-year starter?
I don't want to say
starter,
positive, but at least 3 years.
Right. And you've known me over the years. I put a lot of stock into that.
Any sport,
right? And then, what type of offense does Michigan State run? They run a pro style type offense. Okay, RG3 is 4-year starter, but it comes from a spread offense
with no playbook.
Correct. So Michigan State's been there. They played in a different division or whatnot. And to me, that prepares Kirk Cousins. That's what he has over RG3. He knows the ball has to be out of his hands. That's what he's been used to. Mm-hmm. He can read through his progressions on a level where not a rookie quarterback. I mean, he's been in the league for a while, but someone thrown in there on Sunday is a lot different thrown in there in a preseason game with backups or whatnot. If you watch him, he goes through his progressions like he's a seasoned veteran. I know he's playing Jacksonville, but a lot of those throws, they're not designed to Niles Paul.
Did you hear what Chris Cooley said? I think on the first one he threw, maybe the touchdown to Darrell Young, Cooley said that was like the last read. That was like his 5th read.
Right, and he got to that read within 3 seconds. Yeah. It's bam, bam, bam. That's the way it's supposed to be.
Yeah, I mean that's ridiculous because Cooley, obviously Cooley knows the offense. He knows, I can look at that play and say, okay, because it happened so fast. It's like, all right, that's either designed, especially because he was so open, or that was his second option.
Right. Yeah.
But a guy like Cooley, who's been there, done that, especially with Washington, can say no. That's
fourth or
his
fifth
last
read
read.
there, yeah.
That's
I say Redskin fans, you're going to have a quarterback controversy on your hands unless Cousins come out and completely stinks it up over the next few weeks, which I don't see that. But there's going to be a quarterback controversy there. I mean, you're in the NFL, you're a new coach, you want to win.
Well,
This
it
could
is
turn
because there
into-
was people were calling for a controversy before RG3 was hurt.
Yeah.
You don't think there's going to be a controversy now?
And we live in a world where we rather talk about that than really what's going on in the games.
Well, one of our friends who went to the game said at first when RG3 went down, everyone was very concerned, obviously. But then I think Cousins got right in there and scored a touchdown very shortly
like
after
3
that.
plays later.
Yeah.
And immediately it was going to Captain Kirk, Captain Kirk.
I want to know if I'm
We're going
Redskins
to the
fans,
Super Bowl.
I wonder if, do you guys feel bad for not feeling bad during the game? Because during the game, you guys totally forgot about RG3.
Oh, yeah,
But then
he-
after the game, it was like, RG3's hurt.
You know
But
what?
Did the Redskins fans feel bad for not feeling bad?
I don't think we should, because if we're in the middle of battle, you don't stop and look at someone and say, hey, man, are you okay? No, you say medic, and then you get the next guy in there.
Next man up.
Next man up, and that's the way it should be within a football game. Now, I'm not saying leave RG3 laying in the middle of the field and play over top of him, but good grief. I mean, what do you want them to do? you
I'll
know?
pop that ankle back in. Wait, just okay. Does it hurt?
God, and that's
How
the other
funny
thing.
would it be if RG3 ends up at the Rams?
I mean, I guess that's where he would.
Oh,
I
what
mean-
irony that would be.
Oh, he could end up in Oakland.
Hey, if what's his
He
name,
could
Austin
end up in the
Davis.
CFL if he keeps breaking every bone and
Austin
tearing every
Davis
ligament.
had like the third highest QBR of the week. Now they didn't put up at like 19 points, but Austin Davis might be the guy. Hey, I don't know if y'all had him, but I had the Rams. They won, but I had them covering the 5. I think it was.
I don't know. I can't remember.
Well,
I do because I was like, we'll talk about it later. I think I was 7-9, so there wasn't a lot of victories.
I mean, are any other big surprises here? I mean, I'm just looking at the standings, and that to me is the biggest surprise, to be honest. And we'll go over that in a little bit later segments.
Colts losing at home. That's kind of
starting out 0-2, right?
shocker.
That's. I don't know. I mean, what was the deal with that game? You think? I mean, it was obviously close. Came down to a field goal.
Nick, you were talking about, we were going over the lines and everything. You're like, I think we're going to quickly learn that Andrew Luck's a guy not to bet against. You think, we're going to learn it tonight. I think you got quarterbacks wrong. I think we're going to start learning Nick Foles is not the quarterback to bet against.
Now, do you think his performance was that great? Because it was mainly the running
Nick
backs.
Foles, look, when you run offense, he knows just as good as anybody because he will take all. When you're running an offense, especially an NFL and Chip Kelly type offense, you've got to have a good quarterback in there. He's
It's a smart
responsible for
quarterback.
everything.
Yeah.
yeah. Well, here's the thing about that type of offense is you're set up. You can make mistakes and overcome them very easily because they're pressing the ball. And like I said, it feels like watching a basketball game with them sometimes. Where, all right, they're just getting ready to go on a run. They're getting ready to go on a run. It's something that I really haven't seen in the NFL. And the thing about him and what I like about him is he's showing you that he's a good coach. He's got his own personnel in there. I mean, this is a man that got rid of Deshaun Jackson. How does he not fit into that system? I mean, period. I mean, he's fast, but he wants his guys in there. He fits in the system. Like, again, I can't root for Philadelphia, but I like when a new coach comes in the league, brings his own system in there, and works hard to make it work.
You can
because-
respect it.
Right. I mean, because you take a look at Spurrier, okay? Spurrier was the type of guy that came into the Washington Redskins, hey, I'm going to do this fun and gun. We're going to do this, and I'm going to get all the guys from Florida, and we're going to run all over top the place. Well, here's the difference. He's not going to spend the time in the film room. He's not that guy that's going to be in the office at 6 a.m. and stay until midnight.
He's not an analyst.
Right. That's Chip Kelly. I mean, it's to run that offense with all the things in motion. That's to me it's awesome to see that it works. But again, their defense is a little bit better, or is going to get better. So to me, Philadelphia is in the driving seat of the NFC East, and it's going to be hard for them to. I mean, I don't see anybody in the NFC East really beating them because they're going to be that type of team that can be down by 17 points and they're back in the game just like that. I mean, watching last night's game, it felt like they were never going to win that game. And they would linger around, then they would come down, they let it score, then all of a sudden this, and then a turnover, and then Next thing you know, Philadelphia's won.
Yeah.
Andrew Luck sitting over there looking like Eli Manning.
Completely blank face.
Yes, I mean,
complete
he
blank
put on
face.
his best Eli Manning face and was just like, what the hell just happened?
like to play the game. That's my Andrew Luck impression. Two quick things before we go to break. Two thoughts. Number one, Russell Wilson would fit into that system really well, by the way. That team would probably be unstoppable if Russell Wilson was the quarterback. Just saying. Smart game manager. I like Russell Wilson a lot. Number two, I'm convinced that Chip Kelly has said to his team at the beginning of the season, we are going to be losing every first half of every game and come back and just rip them apart. We'll show them this system works in half of a game.
Then it's worked.
I don't even need a full game to beat you. I just need a half. Just give me a half. All right, guys. We're going to take a quick break. For you, it will be very quick. And welcome back to segment 2 of the Three Frosted Mugs. Thank you for sticking with us. We ended last segment discussing biggest surprises and disappointments from week 2. This segment, we wanted to touch into some big stories that are going on in the NFL. Obviously, man, I'm kind of getting tired of this to be the subject matter in football. Football is a violent sport, but it should be on the field, not off. Unfortunately, Adrian Peterson was indicted earlier this week for charges of child abuse on his 4-year-old child. And then yesterday was charges were brought up on a past abuse issue on another 4-year-old child. Apparently, he has 17 children.
7
children.
I had 7. One of them, unfortunately, had died.
Right, which he didn't even know about until a couple weeks before the child passed away, I believe, if I'm not mistaken.
There's like 5 baby mamas, I think he has. Too.
Yeah, he's got a lot. Oh, yeah, he's got a lot of kids.
He gets around.
So with this, at first the Minnesota Vikings suspended. Not suspended, but they deactivated him for last week's game, and now they're saying that they will be playing. I guess up until it's decided what's going on, whether or not he has any charges, or I'm sorry, whether or not he's convicted, or it's brought out that he actually did abuse his children with the discipline. So,
right. And I think that decision to do that, it's. I got mixed emotions, because we're supposed to live in a world where you're not, you're innocent until proven guilty.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe they can suspend them with pay or something like that. Honestly, to me, when it comes down to it, is Minnesota Vikings are making a financial choice one way or the other. You already see one of their biggest sponsors has pulled out, Radisson.
Mm-hmm.
But to me, I can't give you how I feel about it one way or the other. It's easy in the Aaron Hernandez because he's arrested with no bail. He still hasn't, he's been charged, but he's not guilty yet.
Yeah.
But he's in jail right now. When somebody's let out on bail or whatnot, and you've just been charged. I mean, I know where you say that. Well, he's admitted to this or that, but it's not your job to determine what is child abuse and what isn't child abuse. And maybe in your head, it's excessive. He's 4 years old. I know how I feel, and everybody will have their personal feelings, but, it's you're not the judge and the jury. It's a thin line there. I mean, they're worried about getting sued. I mean, what if he goes there and he doesn't get charged with it and you suspended him?
Right. Well, and I think what you just said, suspended with pay, is the safest way to go in that way.
It's, I wouldn't want him... Baltimore Ravens, for the reason that they did that with number 27 is, to save face. It was put into the media. I mean, you saw that video all over the place with TMZ. Some people have seen the pictures, but those pictures out there are not as easy to find as that video. I haven't seen the pictures plastered all over.
Of Adrian Peterson's
of Entertainment Tonight and this or that. I mean, of course, SportsCenter, because any bad story they're going to run with. I mean, it's... they're more of a news report, and it's not even about sports anymore. It's about human nature, and it's. I mean, I'm sorry, but I want my sports to be sports, and I want everything else to be what it is.
Save it for Sally Jesse Raphael.
Well, I mean, not to that point, but it's we put these guys on pedestals like we've talked about, and it's they're human beings as well. Being rich doesn't make you a good person.
What if this happened to a guy that worked at CVS? In the warehouse.
Yeah, you wouldn't know nothing about it.
Yeah, you wouldn't know nothing about it, and it would be a totally different situation. I mean, like Sid, or like you said, you want sports to be sports. You don't want to, every time you turn on the TV and just this is the stuff you read about. I mean, I want to see what happened to the Walter Paytons. You know, the Barry,
The Barry
Sanders, man. The
Sanders.
guys that, you know, that played football, they wanted to play football, and they were just, you know,
They-
the guys did their work.
Back then, they were probably all awful too. We
Yeah,
just
that's the
didn't know it. I
thing.
mean-
That's the thing. We live in a
Without
society.
Twitter, we didn't know anything.
Oh yeah, we live in a society now where everything's so transparent. I mean, it's. I was just thinking that actually, like like the times of Joe Namath. I mean, what do you think those guys were doing when they
gosh.
weren't on the field? No one knew.
Yeah.
I mean, no one knew. I'm sure that a lot of people knew, but I mean, it wasn't like today. They didn't have Twitter.
Well, and these guys, like you said, they've been told that you're the best at you do since they were in high school. You know, so everybody's going to have that ego and whatnot. But it comes down to
there's
me is the type of human being that you want to be. I mean, I can speak. You know, I know y'all don't have. I mean, I got 4 kids. You know, I believe in spanking your kids. I believe in punishing your kids.
Well, let me ask you a
But
question.
what do
though.
you get out of? What do you get out of, and what do you teach a 4-year-old by hitting them with a stick?
That's what I was getting ready to ask you because you have kids that are wide range. I mean, you've
Right.
got a high schooler, you've got I guess middle schoolers now, right? Are they in
Yep,
middle school?
2 middle
and then
schoolers.
you've got a young one who just started elementary,
first grade, yep.
right? So when your youngest was 4,
Mm-hmm.
how did you? I mean, obviously you spanked him, right?
I mean, I can't really. Number one, I've never spanked my girls.
Okay,
You know,
just saved for the boys, huh?
right? Well, I mean, I'll smack them on the hand or something. I mean, if you're 4 years old and you do something wrong or whatnot, and you smack them on the hand a little bit, they'll kind of understand. You know, you take a 4-year-old that just pushed somebody off a bike, and then you grab a stick and beat the crap out of them, where the point that you leave bruises.
And cuts.
I don't know where the lessons learned.
Not even
I
just
mean,
bruises, cuts.
right? And it's more of to me with my kids is my kids are going to show respect and they're going to show respect to their mother and they're going to show respect to women, and that's what I instill into my sons. Now, will I jerk my sons up and spank their tail? Yeah, that's my right. I mean, that's I'm not going to be excessive about it or whatnot, and it's not something that you want to do, and I haven't done it in a while. But at an early age, when they were 7 or 8, yeah, I mean they're at the age now. If I grab them and spank them now, they're not going to learn. It's not,
Taking
to
away
me,
a
it's not-
video game would do more damage.
Right. To me, it's about learning a lesson, and if you've done it right, by the time they're 11 or 12, you don't have to worry about those things because, kids are going to do dumb stuff. I mean, we were all 11, 12-year-old boys. I mean, you do dumb stuff just for the crap of it. But the thing that bothers me is he's 4 years old. What is he learning from it? I mean, if he has bruises on his back or whatnot for 3 weeks later, I mean, I don't get it, and I don't want, again, we're a sports show, and I don't want to get to the point of Sports Center and everything where it's people love drama. That's it. People love this stuff, and it's kind of hard. And they say, I feel sorry for the kids, or I feel sorry for Ray Rice's wife, but they love the drama. People want to see it. People want to see what's going on right now. How many people follow Twitter? How many people follow
You follow
Facebook?
Twitter. That's why you follow Twitter.
I want to see what people's doing right now.
Yeah. Oh, speaking of, all right. 2 quick comments on this.
Okay.
It's my Joe Pesci. Okay. So number one, I don't have children, and obviously don't know what the stress is of having children every single day. Because I know it's got to be stressful, especially when you have a lot that are doing many different things. But I'm pretty sure, and I've thought about this really long and hard, because this is a situation where, in my beliefs, people should be left alone to a certain degree to run their household however they see fit.
Right.
But in that same vein, if I'm standing there at a store, and I've seen it, parents are freaking out on their kids, they're not listening. But there's a degree. If I see a mom or dad spank their kid once, twice, 4 times, hey, that child's being disciplined. But if I saw someone relentlessly whipping a child with I don't care if the stick is as thin as my pinky or thinner. If I see someone hitting a kid 10 to 15 times, or to the point where they don't even know how many times they've hit the child, that's a problem. And what you see with Adrian Peterson mainly is his defense mechanism is, well, he did it to himself. He deserved it. He was due that punishment. But he admitted he doesn't even remember how many times he hit the damn kid.
Yeah.
And to the point where it's whipping around, and I mean, it caught the kid on his genitalia. It injured him in the front.
There's a difference between disciplining to me, if you discipline something, you're being disciplined to learn a lesson.
Oh, how about that? You have kids. So there's a big difference between, let's say your son does something wrong and you snatch him up by the elbow and give him, a smack on the backside. There's a difference in that because they're going to be like, oh, whoa, I know not to do that again.
Right.
As opposed to if you had snatched him up by his arm and beat him about 20 times, then he's going to forget what he's even getting beat for and going to be scared to death of you.
Yeah.
Right.
So there's a huge difference right there of getting a nice swift hand to the backside or getting beat and then forgetting what you're even being punished for and then being scared to death of the person that's doing it.
They make those air canisters for dogs that go like that. That's what I'm going to use for my kids. Just go
spray them
stop doing
with
that.
the air.
That'll scare them. I mean, you can literally
You're
clap
making my
loud and scare a
eyelids
4-year-old.
dry. Stop making my eyelids dry.
Oh, and real quick, just on Twitter, I just found this very interesting. Adam Schefter had said on NFL something, one of their weird shows, that what Adrian Peterson did was criminal. And of course, everyone's going to start commenting on there, just rampant. The second comment on there was directly from Ray Rice that said Schefter, TMZ, and someone else, probably the NFL, made him lose his job. Like he lost his job because that tweet was gone later. But I just want to say to you, buddy, no, they didn't.
Ray Rice.
No, they didn't. Because I know you're an avid listener of this show. No, they didn't. That was your fault. That was your fault. You lost your cool, and you got to.
He's going to tweet you now. Be prepared.
Come after me on Twitter. Come on.
All right,
the original Rod.
All right, so let me tell you
let's
what.
get into
Speaking of Twitter, real quick, before we get into sports.
Yes.
Well, this has something to do with sports.
We can talk about Twitter all you want.
I just look.
We can have a
I
Twitter
follow-
hour if you like.
I follow Golf Digest.
And so do I.
Do you see the pictures of Lexi Thompson?
Yes. Yes, I
When
did.
did she grow up and become a stunning woman?
Well,
Was she a young golfer back?
She was she was great, but she was a young, pudgy, younger kid. But
she ain't
now
pudgy.
she ain't pudgy now. she a little bit thirsty.
It's pudgy in the right places.
Yeah, but anyway, yeah, she's.
It's so funny because I wish I could show you my laptop right now, but I definitely have the pictures pulled up with
Oh my
what you're
gosh.
talking about. I've been checking those out.
So you guys check that out too. You wanted to talk a little bit about some college football, right?
Yeah, we talked a little bit of college
Let's talk
football.
about the Who's.
What happened? What did Virginia do?
Beat a ranked opponent for the first time since, I think, 2012 season, I think, or 2011. Not sure. It's been so long. We all forgot.
You should start a Twitter stat feed where you just give I think this is the stat.
I think this is a stat. Could be good. May not be. All I know is it's been a long damn time since they've been.
We called it. They were
ranked
getting
opponent.
7. We liked the Virginia at home. We liked that one. But yeah, huge win. I mean, because
Beating an
Louisville
ACC opponent.
Oh, yeah.
Louisville's ranked in the top 25. I think they were 21st. But hey, they're going to BYU. BYU's a pretty good football team. But UVA's been playing great defense. It's just they just haven't found that quarterback yet. Hopefully they will. I mean, to me, the biggest win of the week, in my opinion, was Boston College beating USC.
huge.
And not only beating USC, but I mean beating them down. I mean, I
Well, they
think they
rushed
had to. Here, another Twitter feed. I think about 350 yards.
I think it was like 415.
I just like to throw the stats out there. All I
They
know
must have
is
had 350
it's impressive.
yards.
I think Sacred Heart's ranked 325th in the nation. I'm not sure.
Stats are overrated.
That's the name of your Twitter feed.
Stats are overrated.
Stats are-
It's great. I love it.
He's bad. That's all you need to know.
Is there any chance that Clemson goes into Florida State and whoops up on them this weekend?
I'm just, you know what? There is 2 sure things that I can put on my Twitter.
I think.
Do not ever don't put faith into Clemson and don't put faith into Georgia.
I put faith
Either
in the
way,
Georgia.
they'll either win or they'll lose and screw you over some way.
Yes. I think if I go throughout the years, I've probably lost a combined $17,000 off of those 2 teams or because of those
or
2
Oklahoma.
teams. I mean, it just. I mean, it could all start with the Rutgers Louisville game.
I think there was a UConn in there somewhere too.
Hey, here's a great question, just from
But it's a Thursday night game. We got to do something, man. I really like this side. Have you seen him play this year? Nope. I like it too. Then let's go.
what is
Sounds right.
Yeah, you
from
gotta
the
be.
perspective of lines and I guess over under. What would be the game that you would pick out as a highlight coming up?
Well, I tell you one thing.
Have you had a chance to look at the schedule coming up?
Yeah, well, I like Notre Dame. They got Syracuse this week, but then Notre Dame plays Stanford at home the following week. I think
Sweet
you're going to
game.
see not only. So listen to this. I mean, this is kind of a. I mean,
No.
Notre Dame always. I'm not talking. You're talking to our many fans out there, and Rodney. So I mean, they play
Rodney's a
Stanford,
fan.
North Carolina, who was ranked, Florida State, Navy, then Arizona State. I mean, Notre Dame probably has the toughest schedule in the nation.
That sounds like it.
Well, get in a conference then. And they don't have to.
They don't
do
need
that.
to. They're Notre Dame. I wish they played Virginia,
Home of Rudy.
so we could have a $1 bet that we'd never pay each other.
So how does that work when if they go to say they make it to the Final Four?
Uh-huh.
I'm gonna call it the Final Four. I don't know
Yeah.
what they're calling it.
It's NCAA.
The Big Dog Four.
No, that's not gonna catch.
Say the Big Dog Four.
The 4 with more. No, that's not going to work.
But they go to the championship. When they get all that money, they have to split with 0 people, correct?
Yeah.
And the way that I understand, like, let's just say
You saw this on Twitter. So
No,
this is
let's
the way
just-
I understand it. I saw it on Twitter.
Alabama goes, and all that money that's why you go to a conference. Whatever money they make, that the school
Splits among
Alabama gets, I think half of it, and then the other half is split up.
Oh, it's like a bad beat.
amongst
I like it.
amongst the conference. So I guess one good thing is when they do go there, they're going to have a bigger payday.
Yeah, that is true.
That's the gamble they've been. That's the only reason they've done this is to stay out of a conference.
Tell me why. I would like to know why.
I'm not going to tell you.
Let's get an interview.
I mean, they're
with
in the conference in basketball.
athletic director.
All right, so let's talk. We're going
you
to
like
jump
to
into
call
some.
people just randomly, find out the AD, and find out why they're not in a conference
All
in
right,
football.
I'll give them a shout.
There's so much to talk about in college football, but I have one more question to ask. I doubt you have their schedule up, but I do. Where do you see Oklahoma? Do you see them getting tripped up at all?
Yes,
They
because they're
have-
Oklahoma. They'll lose to somebody stupid.
They got West Virginia. TCU is tough. They got to go to TCU. That could be a tough one. Texas, Kansas State, Iowa State. They got Baylor, and then they have Oklahoma State.
Baylor.
Those are probably their only. They could trip up somewhere. I don't think so, but they could.
Speaking of Baylor, gonna go check out the Baylor West Virginia
Yeah,
game
that's
next
right.
month.
That's right. I'm excited about.
Did you get
that.
tickets yet?
No, but not yet. I mean, we
I
just
thought
decided
you
this
were
a couple days ago.
orchestrating it. CJ Reed, we're gonna come. Well, CJ will be going. I was gonna say we'll be at your 2-bedroom apartment, rolling about 8 deep, hammered drunk about.
Hey, he said as long as you don't mind, everybody can sleep on the floor. He goes, I got a 2-bedroom apartment, but it's not that big.
Well, it'll be like a beach week for me, just sleeping on the floor.
All I know is betting fans, UVA is getting 14 points. Jump all over it this weekend.
Do you think I should shave before we go to that game? Will that increase my chances to play off that I'm an older senior?
UVA's getting 14 this week.
I mean, right now you do look like somebody that's been in college way too long.
Oh yeah, we got to get
Just
this wrapped
living-
up. I got science class.
living off dad's money. Hey, I'm a junior, but I've been here for 9 years.
What was that, Van Wilder?
Yeah.
I definitely lived that movie.
9-year junior. You wish you had Tara Reid
Look,
back
he
then.
just hey,
Yeah, not now. Definitely not now.
he just compared a movie to something that we're talking about. See, he
In my
can't
life.
go a day without comparing a movie to his life.
I want my life to be a movie that I can play over and over again. All right. Well, hey, that was a good discussion about college football. We're going to take a quick break again and come back for our third and final segment. So please stick with us. We're going to come back and discuss some of the upcoming NFL games and play a game of our own. So we'll see you when you come back.
There we go.
A Game of Our Own. Is that what it's called?
That sounds like a great title for a movie.
Oh my gosh.
And welcome back to the third and final segment of our episode today. Thank you for sticking with us. Appreciate it. We are going to start off this segment with a second rendition of a game we started the last episode, and I'm calling it Six-Pack Mug-Off. The Six-Pack Mug-Off. This is where I have
What's everybody else calling it?
I don't know, it's Conway's game, so we might as well
Yeah, I
ask
mean,
him
what are
he's
you
gonna
calling it,
call
Conway? So anyway, the way it works is I have an athletic figure in mind or sports figure in mind. It could be a coach, it could be a player, it could be a
Anthony
GM.
Bowie. Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
It could be a
That was my
GM.
guess.
Definitely got it right.
And each player, Chad versus Conway, gets 6 questions to, again, they have to be yes or no, to figure out who this person is. Now, if you feel like you know who the person is by, say, your third question, you can forfeit the rest of your questions and give an answer. But if you are wrong, then the other person will have an opportunity to use the rest of their questions to figure it out and win the game. And I really haven't figured out what happens if none of you know. We haven't really decided
Then you
on
win.
that. Oh yeah, then I'll win. I'll take the win. That's fine. All right, guys. So let's get this one rolling here. And
You want to go first or me?
You go ahead. I think I went first last time, but I can't remember.
I think Conway went first last time because I asked you and then you said make Conway go first. But that's okay. Conway,
All right.
you can go first.
I'll
I'm
go
first. Has this person currently or have ever played in the NFL?
No.
Mr. Sale?
Has this person currently or ever played in Major League Baseball?
No.
Is this person a male?
Yes.
That's a terrible question.
We didn't play football. I guess I could have went with basketball. I'm sorry.
You make me waste a question. Has this person ever played in the National Basketball Association?
No.
Oh, God, then we're done.
Okay.
The only hint I'm going to give you, remember, it doesn't have to be an athlete.
You just started off the whole
No,
thing.
I did not say that. I
Said
said
I'm picking out an athlete.
is not what I
He
said.
did say a sports figure.
I said a sports figure. You don't listen at all, do you?
If
Most
you
sports
replay
figure-
it, he said
Go ahead
athlete.
and replay it.
That's why I said
I'll bet you
Anthony Bowie.
$1,000.
That you didn't say athlete?
Oh, I definitely said it. I said an athletic figure, but a sports-related person. It could be a coach. It could be
An
a
athletic
player.
figure. So that's not Chris Berman. He's not an athletic figure. Athlete means that they played something. So my guess is Chris Berman.
You can't do that.
I forfeit all my questions. My guess is Chris Berman.
Well, you win.
This is the worst game ever.
Well, of course, when you have terrible players. So,
I was a good player. That sucks. He beat
all right,
me.
Chad, I'll give it to you. You were a good player. Conway, you're a rebel. You might not even be in the show next week.
Replay it, and you said athletic figure. That's why I said Anthony Bowie. So you didn't
Right,
say
so
somebody
that's why-
in sports. You said an athletic figure.
That's why
is
when
Chris
you were
Berman
saying
an
Anthony
athletic
Bowie-
figure,
Oh my gosh. You know what? I'm the ruler of this game. Game's cut. We're moving on.
I win.
You do win.
That game sucks.
You win the award for being the biggest jerk on the show.
You could just look at his face when you said, "Well, Chris Berman's not any."
Yeah, it's just I called him having pocket fives and hit a set.
So sad.
Not at all. Listen to the rules of the game.
The athletic figure. I wish we could replay it right
All
now.
right, so thanks everybody for listening.
So anyway, the way it works is I have an athletic figure in mind or a sports figure in mind. It could be a coach. It could be a player. It could be a
Anthony
GM.
Bowie. Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
It could be
That
a
was my
GM.
Definitely to our game, Six Pack
Great
Mug Off.
game.
It lasted 3 minutes
It is
and
a
40
great game.
seconds.
It's a great game. If you had a bunch of pansies playing football, the game would look pretty bad too, wouldn't it?
The game lasted 3 minutes, so we're gonna rename it Rodney's Last Date.
What?
That's the new game. It only lasted 3 minutes. So
Like my last date?
date, DATE.
Yeah, I'm aware. All right, moving on. So that was a great game. Let's talk a little bit about the upcoming NFL games here, because that's
Let's
going
do
to take
that.
a lot of time. Yes. So let's start with the first game Thursday night.
Do you want to? How did we do last week? We
Let's
actually
go
wrote
over
them
last
down.
week's. Me and you, Chad, were both 7-9 with all the games. Rodney came in at 4-12. My super thirsty pick, missed that one. I had Jacksonville. I think your super thirsty pick was Dallas.
Yep.
Definitely hit that.
And by the way, our super thirsty pick is the game that we like the best.
A
Now
lot.
we're picking all the lines just to pick the lines, but if you're actually gonna doing something to to place a wager, you're not gonna bet every game. We're doing it, for the show, and because we like picking
Unless you're
games.
like Mike Matasow or something.
Yeah. But that being said, our super thirsty picks are the games that we really like. So if you were gonna place a wager,
All right, great. Let's start with Thursday night's game coming up. We have the Tampa Bay Buccaneers visiting the Atlanta Falcons.
We starting with me or you, Chad?
I'll go ahead. I like Tampa Bay. Tampa Bay getting 6.5 on the road to Atlanta. Atlanta needs this win. They look great week 1, look terrible week 2. For every reason they should look good this week, they're not. Tampa's going to play a good ball game. I'll take the 6.5 on the road with Tampa. You're writing them down, right?
Yep. I got a complete opposite. I see Atlanta coming back this week, like you said, up and down. I see them running all around the field on Tampa Bay. Tampa Bay could barely do anything against the Rams. I'm taking Atlanta. Lay it.
All right,
Taking the chow. Steven?
I'm going to take Atlanta in this contest. And that's all.
All right.
That's it.
You don't need to read.
I went 4 and
Conway's
12
reasoning,
last
your
week. It
reason.
doesn't matter. All right. The Chargers at the Bills. These are the 1 o'clock games. Chargers at Bills.
Bills favored by 2.5 right now. Line went up a little bit from an open up as a pick 'em. By game time, who knows? They could be up there by 3 points. San Diego has Ryan Matthews out. I see Phillip Rivers getting on a little bit of roll. San Diego's not going to be hopefully the up and down team like they usually are. I see San Diego coming in there and winning this one outright.
Yeah, I see a lot of the public being on San Diego. I'm going to go with the Bills. I'm going to lay the 2.5. The Bills are going to...
You mean 3-0?
Yeah,
3-0
the
the first
3-0
weeks.
division leading Buffalo Bills after this game. Bills are going to win this game. I think, surprisingly, they're going to win it by 10 points.
I guess I'm riding his coattails over here. I'm going with the Chargers in this matchup here.
I love being the odd man on the first two picks. Like I said last week, I win.
All right, the
Go
next
for
one. Cowboys visit the Rams.
I'll start this one off. Dallas. Laying a point on the road. St. Louis. Although I do think this is going to be a little better ball game. I do like Dallas to cover this game. I actually think it's going to be maybe a 2 or 3 point ball game. You're looking at something like a 21-20 game, maybe. I mean, like last week, St. Louis played in the 19-17 game. Looking like it's going to be close, but I'll take Dallas laying the point.
I'm with you. I'm taking Dallas this week. I mean, they stick to the same game plan. Should come out all right. Defense been playing a lot better. You know, stop the run. You're going to stop the Rams. So I'm going with Dallas.
I'm also going with the Cowboys. I mean, I cannot think of any reasonable explanation that would have the Rams winning. I really don't. They're stacked. I guess their running back is their strongest position right now because everything's directly related to their quarterback otherwise.
Yeah, Austin Davis had a good game last week, but
Yeah. All right. Redskins are heading up to Philly to verse the Eagles.
Philadelphia's favored by 6. Started off as 7. It's dropped a little bit since then. It's a tough game to pick. You know, I hope they both lose, but
If that's possible. I don't think
don't
that's
think
possible.
that's possible at all. But this one right here, if I was a betting man, I would tell everybody to stay away from it. You don't really know what you're going to get with Washington in there. I think they're going to keep it tight. I think it's going to be a high scoring affair, and I could see like 35-28, something ridiculous like that. But I'm gonna have to take the Eagles.
yeah, I'm on board, man. Philly, everybody's going to be jumping on Washington. Washington looks so good at home against a terrible team. Now, I think they are going to be playing well. This isn't the spot. Even though it's almost a touchdown spread, it's a divisional game. Usually I'm on board with the team getting about a touchdown, but not in this case. I think Philly starts off hot this time and finishes hot. I like Philly to win this one by a good amount.
All right. And Philly's getting the 6, right? Philly's has to
Favored by
cover the
6.
6.
Philly's
Has to
laying
cover
the
the
6.
6. I'm going to go with the Redskins. I feel like it's going to be a close game, like a field goal apart. I just feel like, Cousins brings a whole different aspect to the offense. He really does. And quite frankly, I think by eliminating that read option for him, it actually makes every other option that he has just stronger because it's not something he's falling back on. Like RG3 to me, that's what he falls back on. You know, that's why it takes 35 hours to do reads.
Well, there was a good thing, I'd mentioned there's a good thing that, Kirk Cousins did all this without first-team preps throughout the week. Mm-hmm. But now looking at this week, there's a lot more expectations, a lot more on your shoulder when you're the starter
Sure.
as opposed to just coming in and don't really have much to lose. So
Yeah.
a lot different mindset, and a lot of stuff surrounding him that's going to be going on in Kirk Cousins' head this week.
Well, I'll tell you what, if the Redskins can have a strong pass rush, stop Darren Sproles, pretty much stop the run in general, and I think they have a great chance to win this game, to be honest with you, if they can just stop those couple things.
Got to play defense.
Yes. All right, Texans are going to the Giants. I know this is Chad's favorite team other than Arizona.
I'm not going to bet on the Giants all year. Houston lay the 2. Not going to say anything else.
Are they going to go in 16?
I'll put their win total at around 3.
Okay.
Here's one thing you are going to hear next year. The first pick of the 2015 NFL Draft, the New York Giants select fill in the blank.
I like it.
Yeah, it's no way you can pick the Giants this week, no matter if they're getting points at home or not. Defense looks bad. Offense looks bad. Houston actually, I think they've allowed the least amount of points in the NFL so far. I mean, I know they played Washington.
That's another one for his Twitter stats. I think.
Look that up, Matt. Look that up for me, because I'm right about that. If he's gonna, that is a stat, and I know all my stats. Look up how
That
many
is a
points.
stat, I know. They've given up 20 points.
Right. That's league leading 20
Well,
points.
bro, I'm not. Hey, could be.
I'm going with the Texans. The Giants are poo-poo doo-doo. Just awful.
Doo-doo.
They're doo-doo. All right, so moving on. Vikings visiting the Saints. And the Saints are 0-2 right now. Keep that in mind. Are they going to go 0-3?
The Saints being 0-2, that's going to make the whole public jump on top of them. Line's going to come down a little bit, probably from 9, maybe reach about 8.5, 8. I look for Minnesota to go out there and run Adrian Peterson about 40 times and keep the game close, play decent defense. And Saints defense just looked awful in 2 games to me. I'm going to take the 9 and roll with Minnesota.
I like it. Minnesota plus 9. Adrian Peterson's going to come out. I mean, he's already pissed off at the world. He's going to come out. He's going to run. He's going to run hard. They're not going to rely so much on Matt Castle, but I do think being indoor, I didn't put him in any of my picks, in my sleepers or whatever, my top performers, but Cordarrelle Patterson, I think a lot of people, everybody's too quick to give praise. Everybody's too quick to take it away. Cordarrelle Patterson has a big week. I like the
mean, you
Vikings.
love Cordell Patterson.
I can't get away from him, man.
Who loves the receiver? How many catches does Cordell Patterson have so far this year?
Probably 4.
I know. And he had one 100-yard game. I mean, y'all love
Exactly.
Cordell
He's quick
Patterson.
to take it away. Don't take it away.
Well, I'm going with the Saints in this one. I think Drew Brees is a little pissed that he's 0-2 right now, and I know Jimmy Graham is. So I'm taking
hopefully both of
the
them
Saints
can
in
get
this.
out there and tackle somebody because nobody else on the New Orleans Saints will.
Houston's given up 20 points. Carolina 21. Cincinnati 26.
Let's see.
Ding,
Tennessee.
ding, ding. I believe this mug was correct.
Man, you were right as a mug.
Right as a mug.
You win a free 3 Frosted Mugs mug. Go with, let's see here, Titans at the Bengals.
Cincinnati Bengals favored by 7 at home against Tennessee. Tennessee coming off a rough week last week. Cincinnati will not have A.J. Green. Still, Cincy's tough at home. I'm laying the 7. I say Cincy probably by at least 10.
Chad?
Oh, man, it's tough. This game, I don't like anything about this game. I'd written down Cincy minus 7. I mean, this game just, it smells like Tennessee's going to come in there and keep it close. I'm going to have to take the touchdown. I'm going to take Tennessee plus the 7. I think they're going to come in there. It's going to be a lot of Tennessee trying to run it. Jake Locker, I think they're going to keep things simple for them. They're going to have to play defense. It's just, again, since he's got good weapons, they got a strong D. You're going to have to play a good ball game. I look for it to be like a 26-20 game. I'm going to take Tennessee plus the 7.
I'm rolling with you on this one, Chad. I'm going with Tennessee Titans. Just I feel like it's going to be a close game. I don't think the Bengals are going to be able to cover the spread. And that's my choice.
Gotcha.
So we're moving on to the Ravens at the Browns. Going to the dog pound.
Ravens at Browns. Looks like about a pick'em game. The Ravens might be a 1.5 favorite. I think a lot of people. I mean, this is a really close game. Obviously, with the line being just about a pick'em game. I'm going to take Cleveland. I'm going to take Cleveland to win this game outright. Cleveland getting a 1.5 at home. Got a little momentum. It's a big win. This could be a letdown week after that huge win. I don't think so. I think they stay hungry. I don't think Cleveland's that bad of a football team. I'm going to take Cleveland.
If it's a trap game, call it a trap game. Like you say, Cleveland's at home. Baltimore's going through everything that they're going through. I say they come into Cleveland and give this my super thirsty pick of the week, and Baltimore comes in there and takes it to them. And I think this is the game that Hoyer will turn the ball over a few times, and they'll make them pay. I say Baltimore by at least a touchdown.
Wow, that's your super thirsty pick.
Super thirsty.
Man, I just the Browns were slightly impressive to a degree last week, so it's hard. This is really hard. I'm going with the Browns. I'm going downtown with the Browns. Simple as that.
Welcome to the team.
I'm here. I'm at the dog pound. Rough. Yeah, so that's my choice on that one. Next game, we're moving on to the Packers at the Lions.
To me, Detroit Lions one of the scariest teams to put money on in the NFL. It's like watching a college team where one week they're great, the next week they can't get out the way of themselves.
The Lions are the Georgia Bulldogs of the NFL.
They definitely are. To me, it's I don't know about this one. So Detroit's at home, only favored by 1.5. Don't know what you're going to get from them. I'm gonna go with the Detroit Lions. I mean, I guess you got to go with the home team and the Packers. I haven't been very impressed with them. I mean, they won last week, but not an impressive fashion at all. I mean, they were down again by 2 touchdowns maybe or something like that.
Yeah.
See, I'm scared. I mean, Detroit, man, betting with them, betting them against them. They always do what you think they're not gonna do.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna have to. I'm gonna take Green Bay. Give me Aaron Rodgers getting 1.5 on the road.
Man. The Packers are almost just as unreliable this year as the Lions, to be honest. I'm going to take the Packers in this one. I think I'm a fan of the Packers, to be honest with you. If not the Skins, it's the Packers. So go with Packers on this one. Colts at Jaguars. Do we even need to do this?
Colts laying 6.5. This is my super thirsty pick. Colts lay the 6.5. They're not going to go 0-3. Colts are going to win this game by probably 17. I like the Colts. Lay the 6. I hate doing it on the road. Is that same division? Jacksonville and Colts? I
can tell you in
think
one
so. But no, I like the Colts.
Yeah.
Lay the 6.5. My super thirsty pick of the week.
That would be the same division.
All right.
Yeah, I'm with the Colts. I wouldn't put anything on the Jaguars.
Colts. All right, moving on. Raiders at Patriots.
This is the game. Big line, 14 points. Another New England Patriots. My first rule is never bet against the New England Patriots. 14 points, just a little bit too scary, even though Oakland looks like doo-doo. So I'm gonna take the 14 points with Oakland Raiders and hopefully they can have some turnovers or something to keep it close.
Give me the chalk. I'll lay the 14. I would probably lay 21. This should be more like a college line playing at home. They're going to get to Derek Carr often. They're going to get to, I think it's going to get kind of ugly. The only chance the Raiders have of covering is either going to be, I don't know if Jones-Drew is back, but McFadden. Somebody's going to have to go off in the running game. They're going to put a lot of pressure on the Raiders. It's going to be silly. It's going to be a game you turn off, quit watching because it's ugly.
Hopefully there's no double fumbles. I'm going to go with the Raiders on this, and I'm just establishing right now, whatever the game, whatever the spread, I'm going with the Raiders.
Shocker. You would take them
Simple as
straight up
that.
in this game.
Simple as that. All right, 49ers at the Cardinals.
I don't have a line on that.
I don't either. I don't see
Yeah,
it.
the lines probably because they don't know about Carson Palmer yet. They don't know about Vernon Davis.
Yes, I mean, that all depends on who's starting the quarterback. For
Yeah.
me, because, obviously I'm a big Arizona fan. I think if Drew Stanton starts, I think it's going to be around a pick'em game. If not, San Francisco may be a 2-point favorite. If Carson Palmer starts, I think Arizona's going to be probably a field goal favorite. But again, I don't want to put out my pick yet. If Carson Palmer starts, I'm going to take the Cardinals. If Drew Stanton starts, he didn't look bad, but
You're going to take the Cardinals regardless.
give me the
That's what you're going to take.
give me the daggone Cardinals.
No matter the team, no matter the spread.
And give me an Andre Ellington jersey, as a matter of fact. You know what? I'm going to order his jersey
Ask
right
Andre
now.
to send you one.
He should.
Andre.
I'm going with the 49ers in this matchup.
All right. That's it?
That's it.
All right.
Steven?
I like it. I'm going with the Cardinals.
Now you're talking.
Fan of the Cardinals here. Okay, Broncos at Seahawks. We got a little rematch of last year's Super Bowl. Hopefully it will be much more interesting.
Well, we know where I'm going. As much as I don't like the play of one of the Manning brothers, I love the play of the other Manning brother. How much do you think when they saw the schedules, how much do you think Peyton Manning has been thinking about this game? Denver's getting 5 on the road. Give me Denver. Give me Denver to win this game outright. Nevertheless, give me the 5.
I'm going with Seattle Seahawks. Not going to bet against them at home. Period.
I know. What am I doing?
Period. I don't need any other analysts and whatever. I'm not betting at home. Period. That's it. I don't care if it's Peyton Manning and his dad playing quarterback at the exact same time.
That should be a play where you can throw in 2 quarterbacks at once.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm going with the Seahawks in this one. Yeah,
I win.
Pete Carroll. That's all I have to say.
You gonna play?
Pete Carroll. Chiefs at Dolphins.
The battle of the backup running backs going on this week down in Miami. Miami's favored by 4.5. Kansas City looked better last week. Not enough to get the job done at Denver. But I'm going to take the points. Give me KC.
That line stinks. Everybody's going to jump on KC, getting the 4.5, 5, whatever. It's been kind of bouncing back and forth. Miami is a tough place to play. They beat a good Patriots team at home. I don't care if it's no Sean Moreno or Lamar Miller. Miami's a tough place to play. Miami wins that ball game. Give me Miami. Lay the 4.5.
I'm rolling with you on this one, Chad. Going with the Dolphins at home. Steelers visiting the Carolina Panthers.
Like this game. Like Carolina to cover this. Carolina played a good, gritty game at home last week against Detroit. Pittsburgh's up and down this year. Well, in the whole 2 games that sample size we've seen them. I like Carolina to win this game. It's a night game. It's a national televised game. I just like Cam Newton to kind of showcase what he's got. I like Carolina to win this game. I kind of like them to win this game convincingly.
Yep, Cam on Monday. Carolina all the way.
I'm also following
Sunday.
the Panthers on this one.
Is that Sunday night
That's Sunday
game?
night's game.
Night
my
game.
bad.
Yeah, but Sunday and Monday, whatever.
Same
Cam Newton
thing.
every day.
It's a night game. They're both.
Cam in the Morton, Cam in the evening.
Oh, on Monday we get the Bears and the Jets.
Yes, Monday, Bears at the Jets. What an exciting matchup.
Starting as a pick 'em now, it's going all the way to the Jets being a 3-point favorite.
Yeah.
Everybody's jumping on the Jets. I think the Jets are actually a decent team. I think it's going to be a better game than it looks like on paper, but I'm not going to bet on the Jets giving up 3 in a. Well, I tell you one thing. It all depends. I don't know what the health status is of Jeffrey or Marshall, but as long as they're healthy, they play. Give me the Bears all day long.
I'm with you, Chicago.
I'm also rolling along with Chicago. Chicago. All right.
The Bears.
That's our picks for the upcoming NFL games, and I believe that's all we have time for today.
I think so.
We certainly appreciate you sticking with us through our 3 segments, and definitely check us out next week as well. And if you haven't had a chance, please check out our Fantasy Focus. It would be episode 3 for the upcoming fantasy week. Any other things that you guys can think of before we head on out here?
No, just pick 3+ on 3frostedmugs.com. Again, golfers, Fredericksburg Amateur coming to Fawn Lake October 25th, 26th. It's for a good cause, the Mary Washington Hospice in memory of Julie Hurst. So it's not just about the golf, it is for a good cause. So you don't have to be a scratch golfer to come out and play, have a good time.
And definitely hit us up on Facebook and Twitter with any questions or comments or thoughts about any sports-related issues. You can check us out at our Facebook page or on Twitter. We are 3 Frosted Mugs, at 3 Frosted Mugs. That's frosted with no vowels. And please check that out. And definitely would like to thank Fiad Entertainment Group, our producer Matt, as well as AJ Studios for the post-production and graphics work. Thanks for listening to 3 Frosted Mugs. And as always, may all your parlay dreams come true.
Peyton Manning.